Meteorologist Nick Lilia here with an update on the overall threat for severe weather as we head through the day on Thursday. Looking at the big picture right now, area low pressure to the north, another one back off to our west-northwest. A dry line sent up across parts of Texas and Oklahoma. That's going to shove our direction as we head through the overnight hours tonight through the day tomorrow. Back in behind it, a Pacific front. Back in behind that, an Arctic front. Arctic, I'll use that term pretty loosely. It is an Arctic front technically, I guess. But it's not bringing us any Arctic air by any means. It will be bringing us the opportunity for some severe weather, though. We're under an enhanced risk from the SPC. That's, again, on that 1 to 5 scale that we're always talking about, a 3. I wouldn't be surprised if we get bumped up to a 4 as we head through the overnight hours tonight and into tomorrow. There's still a little bit too much uncertainty right now in terms of specifics for the SPC, I think, to pull the trigger on going with a 4. I will say, though, as we get in here a little bit tighter, I have tried to pick out a couple of different areas where I think that the overall threat for more significant severe weather is a little bit higher. That's these little blue outlined areas on the map here. So you folks in Collins, back toward Bay Springs, and as we head back toward Monticello, it's kind of the same area, unfortunately, that just had the tornado the other day that rolled through parts of Covington and Smith County. Then there's another little area across parts of, I think, extreme northeastern Jones County. It's not necessarily included here, but I think just north of Laurel. And as you make your way into Clark County and out into parts of Alabama, even the southern part of Meridian. And then a really wide, unfortunately, area from Hattiesburg as you head up toward about just off to the southeast of Ellisville, out toward Waynesboro, down toward State Line, back through Leakesville. That does include like Richton. You folks in New Augusta, Beaumont, even out toward McLean, as you make your way down toward Janus and Maxey, back into the parishes of Louisiana, south of Columbia toward Sandy Hook. You folks in Purvis, Lumberton are also included in this, Oak Grove, Petal, and Hattiesburg included in that one as well. I tend to think these 3 areas that you see on the map, unfortunately, given the way the atmosphere is set up and given the data that we have available to us in our computer modeling, these 3 areas offer the best opportunity to see severe weather. That doesn't mean a guaranteed tornado. That doesn't mean a guaranteed EF3 tornado. It doesn't even guarantee severe weather. It just means that it's lined up the best to sustain severe weather. The question is, can we develop it in those areas? And unfortunately, that's something that that is set up on very short-term scales that we don't have access to quite yet. I will say this, across the whole area, your general threats look like this. An enhanced risk for tornadoes. Yes, the tornado threat has come up a little bit. Unfortunately, we're looking at the opportunity, I think, for at least 1 or 2 tornadoes across the area. And I don't say that lightly, and I'm not trying to scare anyone. That's what the forecast is, though, unfortunately. I think the opportunity for 1 or 2, at least, tornadoes across our area. And again, we can kind of go back to the map here. You can then surmise, you can say, well, if these are the areas with the highest risk for severe weather, Nick, are these the areas that we could see the tornadoes form? Sure, that is. They could also form in between, or to the south, or maybe just off to the north and east. Unfortunately, with severe weather, with all weather, there isn't a binary yes or no. It's a forecast. It's the best we can do, unfortunately. I think everybody, we can go back to this map, everybody across the whole area, I don't care if you're in a blue circle or not in a blue circle, if you are underneath an orange area, which is the whole area, you've got a really good chance to see at the least, at the minimum, 30-mile-an-hour wind with the thunderstorms that roll through, probably closer to 40. And then as the storms get stronger, you get more and more wind. I think the wind threat for tomorrow, moderate, is probably going to hold as we head through the overnight hours. You could even argue that we may get into the high category as we head through the day tomorrow. Hail threats are reasonably large. There's a slight risk for hail. That's higher than we usually are around here. And the risk for some localized flooding currently sits at a slight risk as well. Your timeline has inched up a little bit. We were thinking earlier today, ooh, maybe it's slowing down a little bit. And then some of the rest of the data came in, and actually the rest of the data kind of eased us back to thinking actually 2 to 10 p.m. And we may even see a couple of thunderstorms fire up before that point as well. Let's take it over to FutureCast breakdown hour by hour what you're looking at as you wake up in the morning, 8 o'clock. If you sleep in, you wake up at 8. Maybe some patches of drizzle out there mixed with a fair amount of cloud cover across the area. You can see the showers, thunderstorms developing off to our west. You can see also that thunderstorms develop out ahead of, so there's your line back here. Showers, thunderstorms develop out ahead of it, and these all have either kidney bean or kind of hook appendages on it. And unfortunately, that would be your supercellular thunderstorms. Those are the ones that are organized. They've got the better chance for the stronger wind gusts, the better chance for the hail, and unfortunately the better chance to produce a tornado. That's at 3 o'clock, and it's into some of our western counties. This is why we had to edge things up to about 2 for the start of severe weather. As we head through 6 o'clock, most of this lifts off to the northeast. We have a couple of cells in here dragging along back off to the southwest. One just off to the west of Hattiesburg, one just off to the north, one just off to the north of Laurel and northeast of Quitman for you folks up across parts of Jasper County. And then we've got the line that's back in behind that. That's back here, just crossing over the Mississippi. And we've got more thunderstorms down off to the south, one across parts of Pearl River County, according to FUTURECAST. That actually one across Pearl River County lifts through that zone that I was talking about a couple maps ago. Lifts through that zone just off to the south of Hattiesburg, through Richton, and just off to the south of Waynesboro and into parts of Alabama. That could be one that is worth watching. I think this is just regular thunderstorms, and I think that is just regular thunderstorms by the time we get toward 8:30, 9 o'clock. Then everything finally, by about midnight, kicks on out of here and is into parts of Alabama. I also want to take this time to really urge folks to download the WDAM First Alert Weather app. Some of you are probably watching this video on the app right now, which is fantastic. I really hope you keep the app on your phone. It can alert you guys if you let it follow you when you install the app. It'll follow you around and it'll ping you anytime a new warning is issued. You get a live look at the radar like this. You can look at the forecast. Again, download it in your favorite app store from Apple or from Android. So that's a look at the overall severe weather risk as we head through Thursday. Check us out tonight on the news at 5, 6, 6:30, and at 10 for updates. And of course, during the day on Thursday, we will break into regular programming if a tornado warning is issued to keep you and your family safe.